Hi, and welcome to our training video on building strong new Alouette consultants. My name is Tom Judson. I'm your host for this training video. I have been in the business 24 years, 3.5 years here with Alouette, and one of my great, most proudest claim to fame is recruiting and really giving people the best possible opportunity to start. In 1987, I had 107 personal recruits, all of them qualified by the then qualification program of selling at least $1,000 in sales. And you do that not by building successful people for you, but building successful people for them. It truly is all about our new consultants. What's the number one fear new consultants and people in our industry have as they start? They're just that. They're afraid. They don't know what to do. And it is our responsibility as their leaders to guide them down the most successful path where we know they can be successful. In our brief time together, I hope to show you and share with you some tips to help make that happen. Now, how does a new consultant best start? You can refer to our recruiting training in terms of how to get people excited about being that recruit. But once they've said yes, what is the best way to start? I'll use an acronym as I share that with you, and that acronym actually describes something we do here in Alouette, and it's called our debut show. Whether you call it a grand opening or a business launch, whatever you may call it, it really is a show by which that new consultant invites her family, friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, kids, friends, parents, and spouses, Frank's list, to her show. And our goal at that show is, number one, to introduce all those people to Alouette, and secondly, book future shows for that new consultant to do to start her Alouette business. Under a debut, you determine early because you, which is text language, take control. When you do a debut, you don't leave it to chance. You don't leave it to that new consultant who really may not know what to do. You take control. Take control in a good way, helping her be successful. What we can measure is this: 68% of our new consultants are more successful with a debut held. So when we look at those who hold a debut and some who come in who don't, and based on where you're at, it may not even be an option to come in without one. That's because your president cares about new consultants being the most successful. And a debut is really a way for you to do that. It is their grand opening. It is the way we help them book the shows and plan those shows to be successful. And look at the statistics: 68% more successful consultants who have a debut sell 68% more than those who don't. That alone is a great reason to ensure you do that. Now, so we agree on the debut, and we understand that that is a way really to have them start. But let's go back even before that. So after someone has said yes to Alouette and they're excited, you know that it's really important that you communicate and control and really talk to them right away. Why is that? Why is that important that we do that? Well, the number one thing I'll share with you is that when someone says yes, they say yes to our opportunity and all the great things we offer, they will go home and life will happen. And life always happens. I always use an analogy of we go to church and we hear the message and we feel inspired, and we leave and nothing's happened on the outside any different. We've changed a little bit on the inside, but on the outside, life is still the same. And you will have the frustrations and the people who will, even though you've changed inside based on that message, they haven't. As a new recruit says yes to Alouette and changes on the inside based on what we share with them, life outside hasn't changed. They will go talk to that person, that family member, that spouse, that whatever, and they will say things to them like, why are you doing that? Are you crazy? How much is this going to cost me? You need to be the positive influence in the other direction to ensure that they made a great decision. You have nothing to lose by trying it. And so you being in contact with them and helping them in that first 24 to 48 hours is crucial. I can't say that strongly enough, that's the most important time for you to stay in contact with them. But after they've said yes, number one, schedule some one-on-one training time with them within 24 hours. After they've said yes, whether it's on the phone, in person, schedule some time, sit down with her, tell her what she's going to need to know first. You need to schedule her debut show within 7 to 10 days. Don't wait any longer than that. When they say, well, my friends don't know their schedule and I need more time to get ready, remember, always use the analogy of shopping. If I was to call you, my friend, and ask you if you wanted to go shopping at the mall, how long in advance would I call you? Would I call you up and say, listen, Sue, I want to go shopping at the mall. I'm wondering what you're doing July 17th at 4 o'clock. No, you wouldn't. You ask her, Sue, what she's doing tomorrow or what she's doing on Tuesday. That is all an Alouette show is. We're shopping from their feet instead of their seat, but they don't need advance notice. So use that analogy when you're talking to her. But capitalize on the excitement of now. Book that show within 7 to 10 days, her debut show. Have her put all her trainings, webinars, meetings, everything in her calendar. In her calendar, in her date book, in whatever she's using, have her put everything in there. Schedule a call with her twice a week for 20 minutes. Have her cell phone. One thing I've found is that getting a home phone or getting the cell phone is the best place for me to contact someone. So get that cell phone number and schedule those times in there. And then give her 3 catalogs and order forms and have her go out and start working on some orders for her debut show. Give her some enzyme peel samples. Give her a couple samples in little containers to give out, but give her some tools and empower her to go start inviting and building her debut show. These are the first things to do in that 24 to 48 hours after she has said yes. Second thing, in your second meeting with her, you really want to encourage her to set goals and to figure out how much income she wants. You need to really know and find out her personal situation. Now, not that we have to be their friends, but personal goals drive business goals. Somebody who just wants to get some money and they want to work just for some extra money, they go get a real job. People who do this get what is better than a real job. It is really the job, your own business. But remember, they have to be personally motivated. It's their business. Personal goals will drive their business goals. Find out what her situation is and really help determine, okay, I want to do this because I want this. Ask her why she joined Alouette. Have her write it down and put it on the refrigerator. Put it in the bathroom on the mirror. Put it everywhere so she remembers why she's doing this. Set a financial goal and figure out how much she needs per week or per month to make that. And break that goal down into the number of shows she needs to hold to make that. Remember, we could say we need $600 a month, and you and I may know how to do that, but she doesn't. What is that? That's 6 shows a month. That's okay. We're going to have to book 10 shows because if you have any rearrangements or cancellations, now let's talk about how to do that. We're going to have to contact, 3 or 4 people a day to get one booking. So let's schedule out how we're going to do that to get you those 10 shows scheduled so you can make that $600 next month. And explain in detail to her, the one thing you need to make sure she understands is how she makes the most money. That's using our Career at a Glance. The Career at a Glance clearly spells out how they start at 25%, how they move up to 30%, and how they move up to 35%. It's done through recruiting and shows. And depending on, ask your president or manager for details, but you feel good and confident about encouraging them to do that because that's how they make more money. And we want to help them make the most possible they can make to achieve their goals. Now, when it comes to, in addition to really scheduling how they make income, you really want to help her manage her schedule and her calendar. 25 years ago, 30 years, even long before I came in the business, women who generally joined our business didn't do something else. They were maybe housewives or women at home with their children, and this was something they could do to get out and make some extra money. Not the case anymore. A recent USA Today survey stated that 53% of the women in North America who work a part-time job also have a full-time job. Over half. And as women, you're the greatest multitaskers in the world. I hail to you because you'll do that. Work a full-time job, work a part-time job, take care of the kids, take care of the house, do all these things. It is our responsibility then to help them manage and balance. So in that calendar, have her put her big rocks in first. Have her put all those things in there that she really can't change. What are those things? Family commitments, church commitments. If she has a full-time job, any other things that she has committed that she has to do, you need her to write those things in her calendar. You want her to put in any other commitments, doctor's appointments, social groups, anything she has, put those in the calendar first. Now, two things happen when you do this. Number one, you're really teaching them that though this business will work around all those other priorities you have in your life. Now, after you do that, there will be clear blocks of time where she can do her shows. And whether you use a special colored highlighter or marker to highlight those times, you want her to highlight the times in her calendar where she can actually hold shows.